I'm actually really impressed that the Japanese S rank leader Goto was able to actually land a pretty good hit on Jinwoo, making him bleed. You guys can see here, um, Jinwoo and their top S rank from Japan are having a friendly spar. But for the guy from Japan, for Goto to actually land a hit and make Jinwoo bleed was really surprising to me. He says here, I almost lost one of my eyes there. And he even said, Jinwoo even admits that he was actually in somewhat of a danger. So Goto is nothing to scoff at. His power is very real. But it just feels to me as if maybe was Jinwoo too overconfident and didn't see Goto actually, going all out, or he thought that Goto wouldn't want to reveal too much of his power because he has too much pride, and maybe he thought Goto was too prideful himself. But or is it the opposite end where Jinwoo was probably, he says, you don't want it to end like this either, do you? I mean, or Jinwoo was just too full of himself and allowed him to actually get, start bleeding. So that's like really eye-opening to me that Jinwoo would actually allow Goto to actually land such a hit. And even though it was just a small scratch, I think that's still huge. Of course, if if Jinwoo actually, like, he actually went all out, bro, Goto wouldn't last a second. Just based on what we saw right here, Goto is supposedly the strongest in Japan, and apparently Japan themselves are way stronger than the South Korean hunters here that are S rank. Even versus even when they did their friendly sparring here, the S ranked fighters versus S ranked fighters, yeah, the Japan totally annihilated them, and they had to admit defeat. Admit defeat after Jinwoo over here protected Chai Hyen from getting kicked right to her face by this other dude, another S rank hunter. And he said, don't you think that's a little too much just for a friendly sparring? And then right here, he had to subdue him. And that's when the other, the strongest S ranker, Goto, right here, as you guys can see here, had an interest in Jinwoo and wanted to test his abilities. That's what it all led up to. It all led up to this moment right here. That is he really a mage? He was questioning if Jinwoo was really a mage, because to be able to submit another fighter despite being a mage, it's like it's unheard of. It's like 100% unheard of. For if you go to any video game, you'll never have a mage being able to subdue a melee character. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just unheard of. So this is very. So he said, Chai Hyen, shall we admit defeat here? And of course, yeah, this is when he was talking to Chai Hyen. And so, yeah, just really eye-opening to see a mage being able to take down another melee character. And then you guys can see here, Hunter Bike, he had missed defeat and realizes that he can't defeat the Japanese team. But yeah, what do you guys think? It's just really eye-opening to see Jinwoo let his guard down like this. He's going into this fight knowing, because he even asked Goto to actually go all out. That was one of his prerequisites, before even initiating this this sparring, if you will. But here you guys can see they both were like going DBZ, Super Saiyan, Ultra Instinct over here. But of course, they were stopped by all the other S rank hunters. And even here, Hunter Sung, or Jinwoo, allowed himself to be stopped by the other S rank hunters. It's just really eye-opening to see Jinwoo just allow all this to happen. Like, maybe he wanted Chai Hyen to get closer to him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no one can take responsibility if anything goes wrong. Of course, please tell him the duel is over. They're worried about what could happen if Jinwoo and Goto collided after they both went Super Saiyan 3 Ultra Instinct KO Ken times 10. But yeah, it was just really eye-opening to see Jinwoo. But this really just goes to show that that go-to is no one, not to be laughed at. You can't really let your guard down around these other S rank hunters. And you can see here, only getting a scratch from fighting go-to. That's impressive. So yeah, and then here, it's impressive too, I guess, if Jinwoo was only using about, maybe, I'd say he's probably only using what? He's probably only using 10% of his power, because he could obviously summon all his shadows that have also leveled up. They level up with him. And it says, I got too carried away. He says he got too carried away, which is weird to me, because if he actually got carried away, he would have summoned all his 100 plus shadows that have buffs to them, and even one of them, Tusk, has the orb of, avarice that, buffs Tusk's mage abilities by 50%. And then you can see here, this was really crazy too, how he infiltrated shadow souls into their shadows. He put these shadows into all the other S rank from Japan shadows, maybe even South Koreans hunters, shadows as well. He put his shadows in them. But yeah, if he really went all out, guys, he really let himself go, even though he says he did, I don't think he did. He would have just filled that entire room with an army of shadows, and all those other shadows, they've been buffed. And then, of course, don't forget about the high orcs, and even Tusk himself was a high orc, one of the greatest high orcs. Even after he was nerfed, he got a huge buff from the Stone of Avarice. But yeah, it's just really odd to see, Sung Jinwoo fight go-to in this type of manner. And you guys can see here, he's having fun with it, because he can finally see where he stands toe to toe after going through all his other battles and grinding levels in the demon tower. When he fought all those demons and even fought the last boss and barely even got away with his life. If it wasn't thanks to Ezel throwing her spear at the last moment and giving him a blink of an eye of a second to actually get the upper hand and clutch the win against the Demon King himself within the demon tower. But as you can see here, for a close combat between a fighter and a mage, they would obviously not allow this. Like, guys, it's always, it's not, each class is different. You have your mage classes, they're strong when it comes to offense, they're weak when it comes to defense. But Jinwoo seems to have both, offense and defense and melee, hand-to-hand combat, and all these things. So yeah, it's just really what an eye-opening episode. Of course, the rest of the episode, we see them getting ready for Jeju Island, and then it was just really awkward to see Jinwoo pull out. He was like, I am not gonna go to the raid of the Jeju Island. After he, I feel like he's really missed his mark here. He really has a lot of faith in the other hunters, and even goes so far to say that, oh, I have nothing to worry about, they can handle it, they're all top tier. I just want to be here with my mom. Like, bro's really been like blue pilled over here, really putting a lot of faith in the other S rankers from Japan and South Korea combined. You guys can see here, the raid is on its way, bro. This is nothing but hype. I don't know about you guys, but I was just shaking my boots up with joy and happiness as this was going, especially here towards the end. Huge. Right here, this gal right here just literally gets decapitated by the strongest ant. I can't wait to see more. And then right here, quick, I'll show you guys really quick. I don't know if this is, it's just paint, right? It's just cartoons, it's animation, it's not real blood. But viewer discretion is advised. Right here, one of the hunters, healers, get decapitated by the strongest ant. And that's how this episode concludes. You guys can see here, she let her guard down. Obviously, she didn't see nothing coming. She probably wasn't S rank. But yeah, very crazy episode, guys. The hype is real. Damn. Anyways, yeah, you can see the ant shadow. Like, bro, he is mad. Anyways, awesome episode. That is all.